Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavit Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We shall chant Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, verse number 6 to 10.
कर्मेन्द्रियाणि संयम्य य आस्ते मनसा स्मरन् इन्द्रियार्थान् विमूढात्मा मिथ्याचारः स उच्यते। यस्त्विन्द्रियाणि मनसा नियम्यारभतेऽर्जुन कर्मेन्द्रियैः कर्मयोगम् असक्तः स विशिष्यते। नियतं कुरु कर्म त्वं कर्म ज्यायो ह्यकर्मणः शरीरयात्रापि च ते न प्रसिद्ध्येद कर्मणः। यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र लोकोऽयं कर्मबन्धनः तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्तसङ्गः समाचर। सह यज्ञा प्रजा सृष्ट्वा पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः अनेन प्रसविष्यध्वम् एषवोऽस्त्विष्ट कामधुक्।
The last shloka we saw was shloka number 8. What he talks about there is you must do niyatam karma. Niyatam karma kuru. Karma jahohya karmanaha. For action is superior to inaction. And then he said, even to the maintenance of your body, you should do some action or the other. Otherwise, you will not be even able to maintain your body. Even to live, that's what it means. Basically, if you want to live, you must perform action. Action is the insignia of life. Inaction is death. So therefore, you must do action. And what kind of actions you must do? He says you must do obligatory actions. So step by step, he developed the thought flow. Arjuna asked the question, why should I do action? While I can gain knowledge, why should I do action? That too, this action of killing these people who are my relatives and also they are great people, especially like Bhishma and Drona. They are my gurus. So Sri Krishna says, Arjuna, through karma yoga, you will develop what is called as jnana yogyata, qualification to gain knowledge, and through knowledge you will liberate, you will get enlightened. So therefore, for active person, action; for contemplative person, knowledge, and you are an active person, you should engage yourself in action. Therefore, inaction is not an option. If you don't do action, sitting mentally indulging in the objects of the world and not performing any action, you will only be increasing your desires. You will become more of a frustrated person and hypocrite. Therefore, what you should do is don't control the organs of action. Control the organs of perception and the mind. Direct them towards a higher goal, higher purpose with the intellect, and then dedicate the organs of action, work through the organs of action for that higher goal. So therefore he said, what you have to control is not organs of action. What you have to control is organs of perception. So we said we receive the stimuli from the world, we react within, and then we respond back. So only the third stage is response. The first stage is receipt, and then reaction, then only response. So rather than controlling the organs of action, control the receipts. Make sure you receive all those things that are helpful for your evolution. Don't indulge in things that will help, that will make you devolve. Therefore, he said, controlling your organs of perception and then organs of action, mind. You direct your organs of action in the work dedicated for the higher. The highest is working for the Lord who pervades this entire universe. Therefore, working for the entire world. So then he said, what kind of action you should do? What kind of actions I must do and dedicate it to the higher? He said, do niyatam karma. Niyatam karma means obligatory actions. Niyatam karma kuru. And we discussed obligatory actions in different ways. Firstly, we said, obligatory actions are decided by your ashrama dharma. Brahmacharya, student, grahastha, married person, vanaprastha, retired, leading simple life, sannyasa, leading the life of renunciation. So depending upon which ashrama you are in, you will have obligatory duties. As a student, you have certain obligatory duties. You don't have to worry about earning money to pay for your tuition fees. That is the obligation of your parents. So whatever may be your obligation, according to that ashrama, you should do. Then according to your nature, you are classified into different castes. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. If Sattva is prominent over Rajas and Tamas, then you are Brahmana. If Rajas is more predominant, then you have good amount of Sattva, then comes Tamas, then you are more suited for Kshatriya, warrior, administration, leadership, etc. So you become a Kshatriya. Then if Rajas is predominant, then you have good amount of Tamas, then only Sattva, you are more of a Vaishya, suited for trading, business, agriculture, etc. Then comes the last stage where Tamas is highly predominant, then little Rajas and very, very little Sattva. Then you are more inclined towards service, taking instruction rather than using your efforts to think. Therefore, you are categorized as Shudra. In this Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, nobody is inferior, nobody is superior. They were not kept in a ladder. They were all kept on a platter. So everybody is equal. You understand? It's just that your gunas are so, therefore you will be inclined to do that activity. So therefore you are better off doing those activities. Then according to that you have obligation. Then we said in the areas of indebtedness, where you have taken already, you have gratitude. You must pay back in those areas. And then we also discussed Nitya Karma, Naimitika Karma, Prayashchita Karma, and then Nishiddha Karma, Kamya Karma. Nishiddha Karma means forbidden actions, which you should not do, which means it will end up in making you devolve. Rather than helping you to evolve, it will end up in making you devolve. Those are Nishiddha Karmas. You should not do. Then comes Kamya Karma. It is fulfillment of your likes and dislikes, desires, as long as they don't interfere too much in the progress towards the goal, self-realization, enlightenment, or any higher purpose. Then Prayashchita Karma. Prayashchita Karma also we said don't focus so much on that. Just understand that there is something like this, but you don't worry about it. Prayashchita is seeking forgiveness for the actions you have already done. So with that attitude, when you develop, you will either, you develop such an attitude where you will be able to face the karma that comes out of it. Then Nitya Karma, Naimitika Karma, which comes under Niyatam Karma. Under obligatory duty, there are daily routine obligatory duties, and which is based on your schedule, what we call as Dinachara. And then special obligatory which may come in some situations. All that we discussed. And then we said there is something called as Pancha Mahayajna, which the Vedas talk about. What are the Pancha Mahayajna? Brahma Yajna or Rishi Rina, and then Deva Yajna, then Pitru Yajna, then Bhuta Yajna, then Manusha Yajna, Bhuta Yajna, the order. Now, first of all, in fact, the order, some people say Deva Yajna, then Pitru Yajna, then Rishi Rina, then Manusha Yajna, then Bhuta Yajna. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about all those things. What you need to understand is there are so many forces which are unseen, which are behind supporting the activities in this world. Now, sun god, we take sun to be a devata. Without sun, nothing can happen. So there, sun is taken as a devata. Then Vayu is taken as devata, Agni is taken as devata. So like that, all the manifested powers in this universe is taken as devatas. So there is an obligation that we have for this entire ecology. So Deva Yajna means aligning with the ecology and functioning. You understand it like that. That is Deva Yajna, offering to the ecology. You function in this world in such a way that you don't disturb the ecology. It is an obligation. You ought not to disturb the ecology. See, nowadays you book your tickets online mostly. When you book your tickets online, one option comes. Would you like to contribute for the carbon footprint? Isn't it? Since you are taking a flight, you are going to do a lot of carbon footprint. So, would you like to contribute for that? For one plant, this much. You can contribute for a tree, for a plant, this much money. You can say yes, you can say no. Right. So, you're basically aware that you are living in this world. There are so many factors, and all of us are interdependent. So, we need to pay back. So this is called Deva Yajna. With that attitude of gratitude, you function. Then comes Pitru Yajna. You're what you are today because of your parents, grandparents, in the entire lineage. So you must have gratitude towards your parents, grandparents, and the ancestors. So while they are alive, first of all, this Pitru Yajna, a lot of people take it as Shrad, etc. Yes, of course it is. But more than that, while they are alive, right? While they're alive, how do you treat them? How do you take care of them? So that actions, you have an obligation towards your parents, grandparents. And then, though they have left the physical body, some of them, they are still continuing. This we understand. We studied this in the second chapter also, isn't it? As long as the vasanas are there, they continue. So, bringing in them in our thoughts, we do Shrad, etc. and try to gain some punya, which we believe will help them in their progress towards enlightenment. So that is another obligation. More importantly, when you say Pitru Yajna, following the values practiced by your ancestors. Not mechanically just doing Shrad and then forgetting about it. So that is Pitru Yajna. Then comes Rishi Rinaha. Rishi Rinaha means we all have an obligation to the Rishis. They are seers. They have, through their sadhana, dissolved the ego and became a conduit for the knowledge to flow through them. Isn't it? We say Gayatri Mantra was received by sage Vishwamitra and given to us. So he is the one who is the receiver as far as the Gayatri Mantra is concerned. He's the Rishi for Gayatri Mantra. So like that, so many Rishis from time immemorial have given us this knowledge called Vedas, in which Vedanta is a Anga, in the end portion. So we have an obligation to pay them. How do you pay back? You can pay back by reading the scriptures, understanding them, and trying to live according to the injunctions of the scriptures. This is called Rishi Rinaha or Brahma Yajna. Brahma means Vedas. So you are offering to the Vedas by living according to the Vedas. This is an obligation for a Grahastha. So all these are discussed for Grahastha. Right? Who can do Yajna? Yajna means sacrificial activity. Who should do? One who is in Grahastha Ashrama. Right? So, Deva Yajna, Pitru Yajna, Brahma Yajna. Then Manushya Yajna. Manushya Yajna means serving humanity. Serving humanity also means, a little more deep if you go, serving people without any expectation, and even unknown people without any expectation when it is needed for you to do service. Not in the area where you have taken. The area you are doing is an obligation. Even otherwise, you understand, you must have this attitude that I am part of this species called humanity, human species, and I have an obligation to serve the entire human species. Then comes other species. Bhuta Yajna. Right? So, you offer or you live in such a way that you take care of the other species. In fact, in South India, they put rangoli in front of their house on a daily basis in the morning. The rangoli is usually put in rice flour. Nowadays, they put in some chemicals. The rice flour because it is an offering to the ants. You understand? So, basically understanding that we are part of the total as a jiva, as a reflected consciousness. I'm part of the total, and each one have to supplement and complement with each other. With that understanding, we function. That is called niyatam karma. This obligatory actions you must do because action is superior to inaction. Action is better than inaction. And even to maintain your body, you need to act. In the sense, just merely to live, you need to do something or the other. Without action, you cannot exist. Therefore, you cannot drop action. Then now, in next shloka number 9, he is going to say how you have to do that niyatam karma. It's obligatory duty also, with what attitude you have to do. And then he said action is superior. Why it is superior? How it will help you? Rather than inaction, if you do action, that too in the spirit of karma yoga, why it is considered as superior? That he deals with in shloka number 9. Let's get on to the shloka number 9.
यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र लोकोऽयं कर्म बन्धनः तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्तसङ्गः समाचर.
Yajnartat karmanaha anyatra loka ayam karma bandhanaha. The first line. He is saying, do action for the sake of yajna. Yajnartat. Yajnartat means for the sake of yajna. Karmanaha means action. The world is bound by action other than those performed for the sake of yajna. So what he is trying to say in this verse is, Ayam Loka. Ayam Loka means this world. This world is bound by what? Karma bandhanaha. Ayam Loka karma bandhanaha. By what kind of karma? Anyatra karma. Anyatra. Other karmas. Other karmas means other than what kind of karmas? Yajnartha karmas. Yajnartha karmas means actions done for the sake of yajna. So what he is trying to say in this first line is, actions done for the sake of yajna liberates you. Actions done other than for the sake of yajna binds you. This is the line. What he's saying is, the world is this world. This world means your experiences are bound by action other than those performed for the sake of yajna. O Kaunteya, O Kunti Putra Arjuna, perform action for that sake, free from attachment. Do that action which you do for yajna also without attachment. This is the meaning, translation of this shloka. Now, what is this word yajnartha means? See, the word yajna means sacrifice. Also, the word yajna means Ishvara or Lord. In fact, in Vedas, one of the names of Vishnu is Yajna. Okay. So he says, Yajnarthat means Ishwararthat. Ishwararthat means for the sake of the divinity, for the sake of that highest sacrifice. Don't do it for yourself. See, an action can be done with an attitude of selfishness. An action can be done with an attitude of unselfishness or selflessness. So here he's saying, do it selflessly. Yajnarthat. Right? Yajnarthat karmanon yatra. Anyatra karma. The other actions bind you. So you may ask, why should I do for yajna? Because they liberate you. Is what we need to understand. So all along we are suffering from bondage. Bondage means what kind of bondage? Our actions produce likes and dislikes. And the likes and dislikes make us go into more actions. They keep on producing more and more vasanas. They keep on producing a lot of punya and papa. According to punya and papa, we will be given more and more experiences and we will be bound in this world. And we will have so many vasanas. With so many vasanas, what will happen? Lot of vasanas will never be fulfilled all the time. No? Only one or two vasanas will be fulfilled. And you will have so many desires, vasanas, which will remain unfulfilled. Unfulfilled desires means mental agitations. So that is why a lot of people, they are all bound by mental agitations. Are you with me? Since you are doing selfish actions in this world, you are agitated. Or even if you are doing unselfish action, there is this ego that I am doing it for others. Right? That I am is not yet sacrificed. Are you with me? So a sacrificial action is of the highest order when even I am doing is sacrificed. So yajna means sacrificial activity, selfless action. Of course, no doubt, unselfish action is better than selfish. But of all the actions, selfless is the highest. Okay. So he says, yajnartat karma. You have to do action for the sake of yajna. Now, yajna also means fire worship. This way a lot of us understand. Because we see a lot of people do yajna. Right? There's a beautiful symbolism for this yajna, fire worship. When fire worship is conducted, what does the priest do? He has built a kund. What is that? What do you call for kund? A tuff, right? A tuff is built, and in that, a lot of wood is kept. And he churns the wood, and the fire starts. The fire starts burning the wood. And a lot of participants come for the yajna. They have brought grains and ghee, etc. So this priest starts chanting mantras and then offering ghee into the fire, into the wood, and the fire starts nicely burning the wood, isn't it? Now, each and every participant bring a handful of grain and then offer it in the fire. The fire shoots up and blesses the participants. When the complete wood is completely burnt, the wood is completely burnt, and has become ashes. It is distributed as prasad, which they smear it on their forehead in 3 stripes, and then they visit a nearby temple. With that, the yajna is concluded. What is the symbolism behind this? The symbolism behind this is the turf is the field of activity. It could be your family, it could be your organization, it could be a country, whatever that is represented by the turf, the kund. Then the wood in the turf represents your what? Personality. You churn your personality, from that the fire comes. And the personality is what is burnt by that fire. Today, wood is, I said, personality. What is your personality made up of? Body, mind, intellect, plus Atma, the self. Right? You churn. Who churns? The Guru, through the scriptures, churns the personality. You are studying this Gita, you are learning the Gita, that knowledge churns it. Then what happens? From inside, the awareness of the self is getting intensified slowly. Correct or no? The fire is inside you only. Fire is inside the wood only. Na? At the same time, the fuel is also the wood. Similarly, this awareness of the self, that when it starts intensifying in you, burns the identification with the body, mind, and intellect. Right? And you got to pour the ghee or offer the grains to that to make it burn more and more nicely. For that, you offer all your talents and skills, which is what is represented by people offering their part of grain, portion of grain. So you bring in your activities, your niyatam karma, obligations, as an offering to Bhagavan, to the Atma within. And fire represents, you always say fire of knowledge, because knowledge purifies. Fire purifies, isn't it? So fire is taken to be God. It is taken as a representation of God, a symbol that represents God. There are so many reasons for it, we are not getting into all them. So now, everybody offering their talent, what happens? The fire shoots up. Fire shoots up means the divinity blesses them by bringing them profit potential in their organization, in their country. A lot of good happens to them, right? Then when the, the wood is completely burnt, what it means is your vasanas are completely burnt. And then you take it up and smear it on your forehead in 3 stripes. What are the 3 stripes representing? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, which is the manifestation of these vasanas. They're called gunas. So you have gone beyond these 3 gunas and you go and visit the temple, meaning you have had the darshan of the divinity within. That means what? You have become enlightened. So when you do activity in the spirit of yajna, the knowledge of the self, the awareness of the self, the dedication to the higher, slowly takes away, robs your identification with the lower. You understand? Takes away all your past habits, which is selfish, self-centered. Slowly, you become more and more pure. So that is why you are supposed to do karma yoga, right? Which they bring it out in so many rituals format. In modern context, you going and working in your organization can be done in the spirit of karma yoga, which would amount to a ritual only. So when you do like this, what happens is you become more and more purified. You are continuing the action through that with the right with an attitude of dedication to the higher. Right? Now, when you continue doing like that, what is happening is slowly, slowly you become more and more unselfish and selfless. Your vision broadens. Chitta Shuddhi and Chitta Vishalataha happens. At the moment, your Chitta is only thinking about you, your survival, maximum your family. But by functioning like this and kindling the awareness from within, slowly, slowly, what will happen? If you follow this Panchamahayajna in your life, slowly, slowly, you will become more and more unselfish and selfless. That's the idea. That's why he says, Niyatam Kuru Karmatvam, Karma Jahyoha Karmanaha. You better do your obligatory duties. All these 5 activities. Which means what? Sattvika Karma. Not Rajasa and Tamasa Karma. You have to do Sattvika Karma. So therefore he says, Yajñartat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Means what? In this world, people do not know this. Therefore, everybody is acting selfishly and going on increasing their desires, and they are all bound by their desires. Your desires bind you. Nobody else bind you. Right? So therefore, he says, you perform action for the sake of yajna. O Kaunteya, O Arjuna, tadartam karma Kaunteya. For that reason, you do the action. Mukta Sangha. So when we do that action, in that also we may get attached. Isn't it? I am doing service to my Guru. I am doing service to my nation. I may get attached to that also. He says, no, that also you should do free from attachment. No attachment should be there to the action. Right? Then also it means you should not have any attachment to the outcome of such actions. That is why we said, no, Manusha Yajna, when you serve, you don't serve only to people who have served you already, or serve to people and then expect something out of them. Then it won't be Manusha Yajna. You understand? You, whoever it is, whether the person is known to you or unknown to you, if that person needs some help, and in whatever way you can extend your help, you should help. And that also you should do without any expectations. Then only it will be called as Karma Yoga or Yajna. Yajna, Karma Yoga means same. They are not different. Please understand it. So this world is bound by action other than those performed for the sake of Yajna. Means selfish action binds you. That's why Swamiji always says in his lectures, no selfish person can be happy. No selfish person can be happy. You try whatever you want, he says. And if you are unselfish or selfless, to the extent you are unselfish and selfless, you can never be unhappy. It is a law, he says. It is a law. So if I am agitated today, if I am unhappy today, means there is somewhere down the line there is selfishness, or I am doing somewhere this kind of attitudes are there in me. That is why I am agitated. Otherwise, it's not possible. So therefore, he says, perform actions. More important, after all this, after understanding all this, he says, samachara. Samachara means perform. Do it nicely. Do it with dedication. Don't do it mechanically. Okay, what am I supposed to do at 6 o'clock? Okay, I'll do this. 7 o'clock, I'll do this. No, not like a robo. Understand? You have to do it with bhav. That's what samachara means. Samachara, if you translate in English, it's perform. But samachara means, you could have said achara. Samachara means do it with that bhav. See, you may invite guests to your house, or they might have come. So you are serving them, serving food to them. Now, when you serve food, supposing you throw the dishes from distance, how will it be? Right? You go closer to them, make them sit comfortably. They say, these are the items we have made it especially for you because we know you like it. It's good for you also. And then, I know you don't like that much spice, so we have not added spice. So what you're doing is you are actually serving with love. That's called bhakti. So samachara means do it with bhakti, not mechanically. It is the bhakti that burns the vasanas, isn't it? Therefore, he says samachara. See, there's this beautiful poem called Ladomi. Sorry, not Ladomi. It is Andrea del Sarto. Andrea del Sarto is by Robert Browning. In that, it talks about how husband's attachment to wife devastates the relationship and destroys the peace and brings in agitations. How they lose each other is discussed in that poem. Robert Browning's poem called Andrea del Sarto. There is another poem called Ladomia by William Wordsworth. There, the discussion is how the wife's attachment to husband brings about this effect. Then there is another poem, Matthew Arnold's poem called Sorab and Rustum. There, the discussion is how the attachment between father and son destroys the relationship, how they lose each other. Basically, attach you lose, detach you gain. This is the law. Swami Ramtita says the way to gain anything is to lose it. If you are attached, you will lose it. If you want to gain, you must lose that attachment. Then you will gain. But don't lose it with this idea. If I lose it, I will get it, which means you are actually attached. You are not really detached. So, in that poem, Andrea del Sarto is considered to be a faultless painter, a great painter, but he's unknown because he's terribly attached to his wife. It is Andrea del Sarto is basically 1,000 names of his wife, which is only one day. Lucretia, 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 Lucretia. 1,000 times he goes on repeating that name. He's so attached. Where are you? What are you doing? We keep on bothering our children all the time. So it's like that. He goes on and she gets fed up of it. Yeah, what is this fellow? Completely gets fed up. And she turns that side. And he wants her to see towards him. And after some time, she gets bored looking that side. No? So she turns towards him. He gets excited. Oh, I see you, look at me. But does that bring your heart? He says. Does that bring your heart means you are looking at me, but are you looking at me with love or looking through me? You understand? You may be looking at me, but are you looking at me with love or are you looking through me? So that is what he's trying to say. You must do your obligatory duties in the spirit of service and sacrifice. Then it will liberate you, provided you do it with bhakti, love. Don't do it mechanically. That way nothing will come. And simply doing your duty alone will not liberate you. In that, the awareness has to be there. So therefore, I would say, though we generally say Karma Yoga is right action with right attitude, the right attitude will come with right awareness or higher awareness. So Karma Yoga is 3 A's. What are the 3 A's? Action, attitude, and awareness. With the awareness that so many people have contributed for it, so many factors are there for me to live and achieve success, isn't it? So I must be grateful to all of them. So all my activities must be a service and sacrifice to all of them. And all of these people are none other than expression of that one divinity. So I'm actually serving that divinity. Naraseva, Narayana Seva. Now thus when I function, doing it with that higher awareness, with the right attitude, then that action starts becoming more and more purified. The wood starts getting burnt. Are you understanding? This is very important to know. Otherwise, nothing will happen. Right? So therefore, he says, do karma yoga this way. And this is karma yoga. So, yajnartha karma nonyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Tadartham karma kaunteya. For that sake, please do the action. Mukta sangaha samachara. Do it without attachment. Do it without attachment. Don't worry about what results come. Whatever comes, take it as prasad. See, prasad doesn't mean what you get. What you get is not prasad. What is prasad then? Prasad is not what you get. Prasad is what is your attitude to what you get. Prasad is an attitude. You are going in the queue. When you come back from the temple, they give you some prasad, and it can be anything. Maybe laddu. Maybe they made only 1,000 laddus. Maybe the 1,001st fellow. So laddu is over. Then you may get something else as prasad. Isn't it? So prasad is not what you get. Prasad is your attitude to what you get. You in fact don't look at what it is. You just put it in your mouth, closing your eyes. Take it as an offering. Take it as a gift from God, isn't it? This is called prasad. So that is what he says. Mukta sangaha samachara. Samachara means with bhakti, with awareness. Don't do it mechanically. Next shloka. Verse number 10.
सह यज्ञा प्रजा सृष्ट्वा पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः अनेन प्रसविष्यध्वम् येषवोस्त्विष्ट कामधुक्.
The creator, having in the beginning created mankind together with yajna, sacrifice, said, by this shall you propagate, let this be your milk cow of your desired objects. The translation of this shloka. Prajapati. Who is Prajapati? The Lord of Praja, Lord of people. Who is that? Brahmaji. Right? In the beginning. That's what he said. The creator in the beginning, having created the mankind. Srishtva. Praja Srishtva. Purovacha. Said it in the beginning. Long time ago. In the beginning. Said it means what? Said it Vedatwara. In the Vedas. See, what he is trying to say is, when the car manufacturer manufactures the car and sells it, along with that, he is also made what is called as the manual. Isn't it? When you buy the car, the manual is also coming along with the car. Now, many of us don't read the manual and then drive the car. We are only interested in the manual because it has some service slips. First, second, third service, like free hai. So you keep it till then. Afterwards, you don't even bother about it. So, like the car manufacturer, when they manufacture the car and sell, they also give it with the manual. From the very beginning, when the world is created, from that time itself, a manual is also created, given. That is called Vedas. In fact, Vedas are called as apaurusham. This we need to understand. Paurusham means that which is born through human effort. Apaurusham means that which is not born through human effort. In the sense, Vedas are declared by divinity, we say. How do we say that? It could have been given through a person, a rishi, but when that rishi had exhausted the vasanas and deleted the ego button, ego. Press the button which deletes the ego. Right? Then what happened? The individuality has merged with the total. So the total is talking through that physical personality, who we have given different names, rishis. So basically, who is speaking then? Divinity is speaking through those rishis. Hence, it's called as apaurusham. Vedas are called as apaurusham. So in the beginning, Ishvara, Lord, has given us Vedas. From that, the Bhagavad Gita has come, which is the manual for life. In that itself, he says, I've already said. What did I say? This is your Kamadenu. May you propitiate through this. And in the beginning, together with Yajna, with the capacity to sacrifice, mankind is created. The Creator, having in the beginning created mankind, together with Yajna means mankind has the capacity to sacrifice. Add one more word, consciously. If you go to all the other animals and other species, they're all doing their duty, but they are doing it unconsciously. Rose is giving fragrance, cow is giving milk, sun is giving out light, right? Sun is not expecting any reward from any one of us. Rose is not looking forward for the Star Rose of the Week award. Is it expecting any award like that? No. Everything is doing what it is supposed to do, except human being. Human being alone starts identifying with the ego and then starts taking rather than giving. But the human being has the capacity to live like other species consciously. Now, once the knowledge goes in and you start becoming more and more purified, what happens to you? You also will live like animals with no doership. With other species like no doership, simply expressing your nature, isn't it? That's what the other species are doing. Whatever they are supposed to do, they are doing with no kartritva bhav, with no sense of doership, with no sense of, indispensability, isn't it? Simply go about doing. But only man puts a reward for responsibility. I'm doing this, give me this, give me that. I should get this, I should get that. And without me, this will not happen. The sense of indispensability is also there. So, therefore, what he's saying is, mankind has this capacity to be doing these actions, what has been discussed now, as a matter of fact, without any self-consciousness. Just doing it in the spirit of kartritva bhava. No kartritva. You understand? Which is what I call as doing it consciously. See, J. Krishnamurti says, animals are unconsciously perfect. Human beings are consciously imperfect. We are all consciously going about doing selfish actions. But we have the potential to rise above that. Isn't it? We have the potential to rise above that and do what we have to do consciously. So that is what he's saying here. The Creator, having in the beginning created mankind together with Yajna, has declared in the Vedas, what did he declare? By this shall you propagate. This is your milk cow, meaning this will be your kamadenu of your desired objects. In fact, by functioning like this, you will attract the objects to you. You will fulfill your desires. You will enjoy life and you will rise above it also. See, the way to gain anything is to lose it, is the law we said, which Swami Ramtirtha always quotes. So, yajna is the way of rising. What is rising means? You may have a lot of desires, okay, but don't do actions to fulfill them only. You realize that you have obligation, so you rise yourself from your desires and then do your actions for that sake. Then obviously such activities with no selfishness, with no disturbance of likes and dislikes coming in. You'll do it to the best of your ability. Would have exhibited it fantastically. Would have excelled in that action. Then as a result, what happens? Your profit potential increases. With that profit potential, can you not fulfill your desires? You would have easily fulfilled your desires. So the whole idea is rising above the desires. In fact, there was this book called Secret, which became very popular. Isn't it? That book, Secret, is never a secret. Everybody knows about it. Why? Because the book talked about law of attraction. So you can attract everything to you. You visualize, you will attract. So who will not be interested? I would like to sit down and attract things to me. It's not sitting down and just attracting. It actually, if you read it carefully, all these are mentioned in our Vedas and the scriptures. It's rising above. See, really also you just think about it. If anybody meets you once in a while also, you're constantly demanding something of them. Would they be interested in visiting you second time, third time? I don't want to see that. Because if I see something or the other, he'll keep on demanding. Right? Now, everybody is attracted to the child. Because child has no demands. Right? You get attracted to things that has no demand. Isn't it? So if you have demands, how will anything get attracted to you? So when you have no demand in you, you have risen above. And when you become strong, when you actually become strong, everything comes to you. When you are weak, nothing comes to you. Please understand, everything in life will be sucked by strength. No? Weakness will go towards strength. Weak people will be attracted to strong people. In some form or the other, they are strong. Either they have power, or they have wealth, or they have knowledge, or something or the other they have. Or through discipline, they have a perfect body. Some strength is there. That's why we get attracted. Otherwise, why will you be attracted? So you have to become inherently strong. And this yajna will make you inherently strong. You rise above, then automatically everything gets attracted to you. The way to gain anything is to lose it by rising above. Mentally lose them. Don't work for them. Let it work for you. That's what he's saying. So therefore, this will be your Kamadhenu. See, this Kamadhenu cow, and there is another tree called Parijata, etc., spoken about in our Shastras, right? The Puranas and all that. The Kamadhenu cow was actually with sage Vasishta. Okay. In sage Vasishta's ashram, he had Kamadhenu cow. Now, Vishwamitra was called as Kaushika Maharaj. He was a king first. Sage Vishwamitra was initially a king. His name was Kaushika. Now, he had fought a battle with somebody who tried to invade his kingdom and is coming back victoriously, coming back with his army people, going back to his kingdom. On the way, they were passing by Sage Vasishta's ashram was there. And Sage Vasishta invited them, all of you please come, stay with us, we'll give you food, take rest, have food and then go back. So they said, okay, king accepted. And they were thinking, how can the ashram supply to all of us? But a very sumptuous meal was supplied. And how much ever they ask, it's coming. How is this possible, man? This ashram seems to have a lot of wealth. Right? Then they found out the supply is coming from Kamadhenu cow. Sage Vasishta had Kamadhenu cow and everything is coming from Kamadhenu. So Vishwamitra, Kaushika Maharaj said, this cow, please give it to us. We'll take it to the kingdom so that we can serve the entire world rather than being in the ashram. Sage Vasishta said, you take it. No problem. If she comes, you take her. And she was not coming. And the entire army fought with Kamadhenu. They lost the battle. Then Kaushik Maharaj said, I am the king, but I am not powerful. Really powerful is Vasishta, Brahmagyani. So I also will become Brahmagyan. You understand? And he did tapas. He failed many times, but he continued doing tapas. And then finally, he also became Brahmajnani. He was called as Vishwamitra. What is the story telling? Kamadenu will be with you only when you are Vashishta, not when you are Kaushika. You understand? Anything that you think will get fulfilled, not as long as you are living your life like a beggar, craving for it, because nobody will get attracted to a beggar. But if you live like a king, right, you are not dependent on it, you are not thinking about it, suddenly a thought comes, the thought gets fulfilled. The nature functions to come and fulfill your thought. That's why in the book Secret also, when they talk about this law of attraction, very interesting. What they say is, when you visualize, you should be, first of all, if you are not well, they say, don't say I'm not well. You visualize that you are already well. You close your eyes, you think that you are well. Don't say, I will become healthy. If you say I will become healthy, what is your feeling and belief? That you are unhealthy. The fact that you are thinking that you are unhealthy, you will continue to be unhealthy. So therefore, they say you visualize that you are healthy, right? And they show that if you want to become rich, you visualize that you're already rich. And they say be specific. You want a particular model of a car. Okay, BMW, whatever, X5, X7, whatever. You visualize that and you visualize as if you're having that car. And they explain it there. The fellow who visualizes, he visualizes driving that BMW car, he gets down and he forgets to switch off lock the car. So he turns in his mind, he turns and locks the car. Right? What does it mean? It means you are already having. When you are already having, will you have the thought that I do not have it? Really rich means you'll be not worried about its loss. If you are worried about its loss, means you are not really rich. That's called Kripana Bhava. Kripana Bhava means miserly Bhava. You understand? You are not rich. When you really rise above it, you are completely above it. You are not bothered about its loss. Are you with me? That means you are in a state of strength. When you are in a state of strength, everything gets attracted to you. That's why he says that will work as a Kama Denu for you. Let's conclude the class here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.